These 10 Kingdom Hearts fights need to happen. With such a large roster of characters all built in with kill potential, the Kingdom Hearts series should take full advantage of the potential matchups out there. I always dream of a true Kingdom Hearts fighting game, but these are more battles I want to see within the games, from certain conflicts characters might need to resolve, or just me wanting to see my fanfiction come to life. The Kingdom Hearts series is full of so much potential in that regard. Looking back at some of my favorite moments in the series are when many protagonists finally need to swing their blades at one another. Thinking back to Sora vs Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2, that battle was so fire it permanently changed the chemistry in my brain. From the music to the combos, the Sora vs Roxas fight had everything I could ever want. Now it gets me thinking about who else I want Roxas to throw hands with. Or in this case, Keyblades? Whatever. Then there's that time Aqua faced off against Ventus in the Land of Departure. She needed to use all her strength to save her sleeping friend with everything on the line. Even though she got super clapped in that fight, it was still an excellent one to experience. For this video, I'll be looking at potential fights that might happen within the story. Or I just might talk about a fight that I think could be a real spectacle to witness, ultimately combining two characters and seeing what brings them to each other's limits. Especially the situation Sora is in right now for Kingdom Hearts 4, there are a lot of reasons why our heroes might be up in arms and want to save the day. But before I get into it though, please let me know your top 3 fights you want to see in the series. Get as insane and as creative as you can, because your comments really got me looking into the 5th dimension with ideas. And while you're down there, please be sure to hit that like button. Every time it happens, I hear that little keyblade clank sound in my dreams. And with all of that out of the way, these are the 10 Kingdom Hearts fights that need to happen. In the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, there is a moment that shows a beautiful lush forest with sunshine leaking through the trees. There is a moment in the trailer where you can see a small mech leg, which has led the fandom to a million theories. But the one that seems to be the strongest is that this leg is related to the Star Wars franchise, which potentially means that Star Wars will be included in Kingdom Hearts, opening the door for an epic clash between Sora and Darth Vader. Of course, this idea existed long before that Kingdom Hearts trailer. Since the incarnation of Kingdom Hearts, fans have brought together so many potential worlds for Sora to visit, and with Disney owning Star Wars, it seemed like the next best fit. Darth Vader using his red lightsaber against Sora's Keyblade in an epic clash of fates. I've never seen so much support for a Disney boss fight before, and most people who request this are on the surface of the Kingdom Hearts iceberg, thinking it would be hilarious to see Sora clash with Vader. But this actually might be our future, and I'm here for it. Darth Vader is one of the most iconic villains in all of fiction, and putting Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts would open up the doors for so many other battles. But facing off against Vader is the most requested Kingdom Hearts fight. It needs to happen so it can break the culture wide open. It'll be a fight that people will look up on YouTube without even playing the game. That's how badly some people want to see this, and I'm one of them. I think it will be a big moment for Kingdom Hearts. Now, Riku facing off against Zora seems like it's going to be the most obvious thing to happen in the next game. Riku has now entered Quadratum with the intent to look for his lost friend Sora, and the last time we see Sora is during his encounter with Zora. And if you played Remind, then you know exactly how that went. How is Riku going to react to a character that essentially stole his entire design? He might freak out and think it has something to do with the power of darkness. Like Zora looks just like him, and Riku is just entering this brand new reality. I'd be summoning my Keyblade if I saw something like that happen too. The real question is, who would be winning this battle? I mean, we saw Zora's true power when facing off against him, but Kingdom Hearts has a tendency to nerf some of their stronger secret bosses and bring them back for lighter instances throughout the series. Who knows, Riku might get completely bodied and will have to return to the universe of Kingdom Hearts. I do think both of these characters will react rashly and just start throwing hands without questions, or they'll speak in weird and vague phases until one of them loses their cool. Still, I think this battle would be fire to witness. Another throwback to the age of fairy tales, I would love to see Lariam versus Ventus. As both originate from 100 years ago, Ventus is the one who is responsible for the disappearance of Lariam's sister, as Ventus was possessed by the power of darkness and struck her down. Although these two seem to have squashed their beef back in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, neither Ventus or Lariam in modern Kingdom Hearts games seem to really know what's going on. Lariam went on to become Marluxia and join the organization, while Ventus went on to become a pupil of Master Xehanort. Marluxia and Roxas have been in the same room as part of the organization, but Marluxia never makes a comment about his face, about how it looks exactly like an old friend he used to have. I think as we dive more into the lore of the age of fairy tales, I feel these memories will return to Lariam or Ventus. Maybe Lariam will start to remember what happened, but it only comes in bits and pieces, causing him to lash out at Ventus again in the present. We also don't know where Lariam is at this point in the story, but we do know his sister makes an appearance in Kingdom Hearts 4, so it's only a matter of time before he shows up again. Seeing a match against an enraged Lariam against the confused Ventus might just be what I need. Now, I'll be honest, I have no idea how this would work in the story, but I would love to see Roxas face off against Riku again. The last time they fought, it became one of the most iconic moments in the series. Roxas is ready to throw everything on the line to save his forgotten friend, with Riku doing the same to save Sora from his deep slumber. Of course, Riku was only able to defeat Roxas using the power of darkness, as Roxas was clearing him throughout the entire battle. So I would love to see what this fight looks like in the present, where Riku doesn't need to use the power of darkness as much of a clutch, just a spar between two Keyblade wielders. Now, I don't really know how this would work since Riku clearly has more important things going on right now, but this is just one of those really cool ones for my childhood childhood brain. Two characters that are almost defined by their relationship to Sora, and seeing Braveheart clash with the Oathkeeper in Oblivion, that would be everything I could ever want. After everything both characters went through in the Keyblade War, I would love to see how their powers match up against each other in the present. Maybe Riku needs to fight with Roxus as a way to get stronger to save Sora. I'm not writing these games, I just want to see these two duke it out. As for a fight I do believe will occur in the story, we have Kyrie versus Aqua. At this point in the story, it's confirmed that Kyrie will be training with Master Aqua to become a stronger Keyblade wielder, just like she did back in Kingdom Hearts 3 with Lee and Merlin. So Kyrie will need to put her power to the test against her master. The battles against the Keyblade Masters are some of the strongest story moments as well. I think back to Birth by Sleep where Tera had to face off against Master Ericus. The stress of that situation really built it up. I don't see Aqua going completely insane and trying to take out Kyrie like Ericus tried with Ventus, but I do believe Aqua will push Kyrie to become stronger, potentially pushing both of them to their limits in an epic clash. It might also just be a small sparring moment between the two. I like the idea of Kyrie having multiple fights, where each clash she becomes a little better and even beats Aqua at one point. Just something to show that she's growing as a Keyblade wielder. And it would be incredible to see Kyrie defeat her own master. For two other wielders I want to see push to their limits, I gotta see Riku versus Tera. The battle between these two would use so much darkness, the screen is just gonna turn black. This fight would be between two individuals who were mostly affected by Xehanort's actions. Between the body possession and the never-ending guilt, each has to deal with it. Riku and Tera are more alike than any other combination. I think it would be really interesting to see Tera come to Riku for advice. Tera hasn't built a resistance to the darkness like Riku has. Maybe this sparring will teach him something about controlling the darkness inside of his heart, and truly shows a moment where Riku is impacting the one who gave him the Keyblade. When back in Birth by Sleep, Tera transferred over the Keyblade to a young Riku, essentially throwing the small child into a never-ending battle between light and darkness, costing millions of lives across the worlds. Ooh, Riku just might want to fight Tera for putting him through that, you know? But I do know seeing a battle between two dark Keyblade wielders with no light involved could be a game-changing moment. Sora battling against the Foretellers is almost guaranteed in Kingdom Hearts 4. They made a return in Kingdom Hearts 3 with the Master of Masters seeming to be the ultimate baddie. All the Union Cross titles have built up the Foretellers as brave leaders who ultimately led to their own downfall. We do occasionally battle the Foretellers in Union Cross, but facing them in a big budget Kingdom Hearts game is what I've wanted since I learned about the Age of Fairy Tales. Playing as Sora and finally being able to put the beats on these characters will be a dream come true. I imagine they will function similarly to the organization. Each Foreteller has their own unique moveset and potential Keyblade transformations. What I'm really interested in is if the developers will make them secret bosses, just like the data organization from the older Kingdom Hearts games. Will the Foreteller battles be hidden in Quadratum somewhere? Or maybe you face them in the main game and then the data Foretellers appear in the DLC, if they decide to drop that, of course. But overall, I do hope we can finally face the Union leaders. Especially as said, I want to give them a firm bonk with the Keyblade. I know we've seen this fight like a million times, but I'm one of those who wants a million and one. Sora versus Riku has been a thematic moment throughout several Kingdom Hearts games. The first game being the strongest case, the clash with Riku and Hollow Bastion was everything. The story set him up to be a true villain and it was time for Sora to stop him. The battle itself is challenging and rewards the player for properly timing its dodges. In Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 3, you fight a replica of Riku from that time. All the angst and built-up anger in this battle shows. But at this point in the story, Sora and Riku are the best of friends. They went through their differences and worked together to solve them. So why would they even need to fight this time around? So I'm thinking how in Remind, Zora said that this wasn't his main appearance. Well, how crazy would it be if another person did that with Sora's body? Just use it as his avatar and Riku encountered this person. Whoever this is has everything Sora has in his Keyblade kit. I don't think Sora and Riku will actually need to fight against one another again, unless of course someone was being controlled by something. But I do think this is the next best thing. Finding a user that uses Sora's body and clashes with Riku, I think it would be dope to play as Riku in this moment, especially since all the older fights with Riku are usually against him. I think it would be a real moment to show Riku's growth as a character. Now it's up to him to defeat this Sora imposter and find his friend. Honestly, I'd eat that up. I'm not sure what role Tera will play in future titles, but I think a big step for him will be becoming a Keyblade Master. In Birth by Sleep, Tera trained so hard to only fall flat by exposing his heart to darkness. It became a key moment of insecurity that ultimately sent him down his dark path. With Tera back, it only makes sense for him to gun for the title of Master, and I think the person that should be responsible for that will be Master Aqua. I think it would be so poetic that the person he trained alongside with would be the one to reward him with this title. Obviously, she would not hold back and would push Tera to do the same. The Mark of Mastery itself comes in so many different shapes and sizes, from hitting around small orbs to jumping into the dreams of several worlds. It just seems like this exam could be whatever it wants. We've also already seen this fight at the beginning of Birth by Sleep, but to see this happen again with everything that these characters had went through, the trauma and their relationship to darkness, and it feels right for that person who became master from both of their master, would have the high enough honor to give Tera his master title. But I think Aqua is going to make sure he earns it. I think this fight will be an awesome cutscene and a big moment for Tera, and the stakes would be high enough for more than just a normal sparring. Tera versus Aqua sounds like it would be incredible. At the end of Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, Kyrie wishes to join Riku on his quest to find Sora. Riku doesn't feel like Kyrie is quite strong enough for this mission and decides to leave her behind. And now she'll be training with Master Aqua to get stronger. But the goal remains the same. Kyrie is growing stronger so that she can be a helpful asset to Riku in saving Sora. The next time she sees him, she'll need to be able to stand on her own, which is why I think a fight between Riku and Kyrie would be so cool. In a moment to prove her worth to Riku, she battles him in Keyblade combat. And Riku, not standing down to respect his friend's wishes, agrees to the fight. And I think it works thematically for the both of them, as Kyrie is currently riddled with insecurity about not being strong enough to help out her friend, and the person who is on this mission basically hinted towards her to stay home. Riku sees Kyrie become so strong after all her training with Master Aqua. This will show him that Kyrie is capable of this mission, and they both work together to bring Sora home. I do think Riku should gatekeep Kyrie a little bit to push her. I think she's sassy enough to not back down from the challenge, and seeing Sora's two closest friends face off against one another, I've only imagined such a dope scenario in my mind, making Kyrie versus Riku my #1 requested fight. I do wonder how this list is going to look when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Will some of them actually make the cut, or am I going to look like a complete loon? Well, only time will tell. But I'm truly always clowning. These are my 10 most requested Kingdom Hearts fights for the future. Thanks again for making it this far in the video. I want you to know those who make it to the end are my favorite. Like, sure, you can click the video and watch some of it, but to make it to the end where I just start rambling, like, y'all are the goats. I hope you do something nice for yourself today. You deserve it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.